Hey folks, today is Friday, July 18th, 2025. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. Quite a week. So the first thing is CD Projekt Red. Just when you thought they were done, they added more stuff to Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, this is the 2.3 patch, and it comes with a couple of interesting updates. Believe it or not, one of the guys on the team here was actually playing it behind the scenes, so we don't usually do this in Friday show videos, but we figured we'd give you a little gameplay here, some stuff we captured, and some brief details if you are looking to jump back in. Usual bug fixes and stuff, but they added some new features. An auto drive option on vehicles that lets you just, automatically drive to a destination you have marked. When it is on auto drive, it seems like the vehicle follows traffic laws and just drives like an old grandma, so it does take a while, but think of like hopping in a taxi in GTA 4. There's a new cinematic camera while on auto drive, which is actually kind of cool, and the Delamain taxi is now a thing. Like you can call it and use it. It's available to call in after the Don't Lose Your Mind mission. Another small feature we noticed, you can tell Johnny to go away when he appears in the front seat beside you while driving around. If you do that, he'll stop showing up for a while. Some new side jobs are here, which unlock a few new vehicles. Some can be purchased just like this big truck with built-in machine guns. You can get that one straight off Auto Fixer. There's no like prerequisites or anything, but there are like a handful of new vehicles. Just saying, some of them are pretty cool. Of course, most of them have like this very specific requirements to get them, so they're a little bit of a pain to unlock. New side jobs are basic, but it's something to do. Car customization is possible for many more vehicles, even the crappy, cheaper cars. Also, we noticed that cars that appear in traffic now just have more paint schemes, more going on to them, more unique things, more variety, just like a simple immersion thing, and tons of new photo mode options. So for photo mode perverts, you got a lot going on here. You can customize time of day, weather, a whole lot of new PCs that you can add into shots and then customize their outfits. You can change V's clothes from their wardrobe settings. You can move around the timeline to get better shots. And there's like a look at the camera feature to change the direction of V's eyes. And this is just like pretty crazy. I want all photo modes to have stuff like this. Also, it's got new PC graphics options, AMD FSR 3.1 frame generation, AMD FSR 4 support, Intel HDR10 Plus, and new console graphics support options with like VRR if you want that for PS5 and Xbox Series. Yeah, long list of stuff to run through. Does Cyberpunk 2077 need anything more? Did it even need all of this? No, but it seems like a nice cherry on top. But honestly, I'm just hoping that now they just get cracking. Get working on The Witcher 4 and the Cyberpunk sequel. Hey, now next up, let's talk about today's sponsor. It's boot.dev. I'm really excited to talk about this platform because they essentially understand that learning programming online can be boring. So they make it a game. They literally gamified it by making learning programming a video game. They got a bunch of courses and you can learn things like Python, Go, JavaScript, Linux, but all of these courses are intuitive and interactive. They walk you through the process and you learn by, being hands-on. But like I said, it's all designed around a video game and it feels like an actual RPG. Do well and you earn EXP and you level up. If you mess up, you could take a hit to your armor level. There are potions for EXP boosts. There's a bunch of different types of stat tracking. There's also a really solid dedicated community on Discord as well. The reality with learning programming, and boot.dev acknowledges this, is that it takes time. You gotta put the work in. So why not enjoy the process? Make it feel like a game. Make it feel like you're kind of grinding out a JRPG a little bit. And boot.dev as a platform is always updating. So they're always adding cool new stuff like community boss battles, new features, new things to do, you name it. Now, notoriously, I find this type of stuff very intimidating. I try my best, but I struggle. But with boot.dev, so far, I've been doing all right. I've been getting through it. And I'm having fun. Like some of the references they make, some of the help tips, some of the objectives are just really good video game references, video game industry references. It feels like they get it. So believe it or not, there's like a demo. You can go to boot.dev to start some courses for free. Then when you're there, you can use code gameranx to get 25% off your first year when you choose an annual plan. Click the link in the description down below, or again, head to boot.dev. And then when you're there, use that code gameranx for 25% off your first year when you choose an annual plan. Get learning, but more importantly, have some fun doing it. And big thanks to boot.dev for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. Now in other news, it's been a long time since we've had like Fallout rumors, like some significant ones. And now apparently the word on the street is that Fallout 5 is quote unquote fully greenlit. Now, of course, this is still just rumors, so take all this with a grain of salt. Say it with me, kids. But this comes from Windows Central, Xbox-centric reporter who's gotten a lot of scoops. Jez Corden on the Xbox 2 podcast. He said that Fallout 5 is greenlit and production is moving forward. He wasn't able to confirm who is working on it because Bethesda Game Studios is apparently still working on Starfield DLC and then, of course, the next Elder Scrolls. So we don't know exactly what the deal is, like how this is being worked on, but he did kind of infer that possibly a lot of the layoffs and reshuffling recently, like with ZeniMax Online, is used to take resources and then just double down on making a new Fallout. Like Xbox essentially finally cracking the whip on that, so to speak. Gotta be totally honest, I don't know what took them this long. They've owned Bethesda for a while now, but in case you missed it last week, another reporter or scooper also confirmed that new Fallout games are in the works. On the podcast I do, Friends Per Second, Jordan Midler from VGC was on there and he discussed Fallout is rolling. So it seems like Microsoft Xbox is finally getting wise to the fact that they really got to get a new Fallout going. But the bigger question is, of course, if this is all true, is who is making it? Is Bethesda Game Studios going to grow? Is it going to be a B team? Is it going to be a different team? Is it going to be a contracted team? A co-collaboration? No idea, but it's not the first time a different studio has had their hands on a Fallout game. You know, many people have worked on Fallout games, so I wouldn't freak out about that. But I'm curious to see how this goes, if this is actually a Fallout 5 and when it's coming. It's probably going to be a while if this is true. Next up, Saber Interactive, the publisher behind, of course, big things like Space Marine 2, among many others, is teasing a new horror game. They posted this teaser. Apparently a reveal is coming next week. And this teaser, a lot of people are kind of inferring that it's Hellraiser, which is very cool because the original Hellraiser is an awesome movie. I do know a little bit about this project tease. All I can say is that I think people are going to dig it. Oh, and in case you missed it, I thought this was interesting. The Overwatch 2 director, the newest, most recent director, Blizzard person, did do an interview and said that they do actually want to focus on Overwatch story stuff. Saying essentially with IGN reporting that Blizzard wants to get back to story content after fans feel it dropped the ball with PvE. And I think this is good news. If they actually commit and go forward with this, that would be great to see. I am not like a diehard Overwatch person at all, but what I do love is Blizzard crafting cool stories and animation and weird stuff. And the early days of Overwatch showed so much promise for those characters. And then with Overwatch 2 seemingly going to have some cool single player or PvE content, and then they bailed on that, that sucked. So I'm curious to see if they actually go back around to this. He acknowledged, he said, one of the things that we hear our players talk about a lot, you see online, it feels like Overwatch has dropped the ball when it comes to story and lore, saying that some story content will need to come back for Overwatch 2 to be firing on quote unquote all cylinders. So I don't know how hard they're going to go into it. I mean, they already like canceled story stuff in the past, but I would just love to see something because, again, there was so much potential. If you want to read up on this and also catch the full interview online, this, as well as everything else I talk about, is linked in the description down below. Next up, in terms of new games releasing this week, the first is Donkey Kong Bananza. That just dropped for Nintendo Switch 2. And, like, look, I know people have their issues with Nintendo, but I've been playing this game and I think it's very good. I bought it as soon as it dropped because I wanted to see what was up like at midnight, and I've been having a ton of fun. It sucked me in. I didn't really know what to think, but I think it's a good time. It feels very different than your standard Donkey Kong game, but once you get past like the first map, the addictive loop really sets in. Also, I played a bit of Ready or Not. This dropped for consoles this week. It's not like the best console port or anything, but this is just a really cool game. It's been having issues with some cut content that PC fans now don't have. Essentially, it was like they cut some of the darker elements, I guess, to sell the game on console, but the PC fans also lost out on that. But that stuff aside, like the raw gameplay here, I do think is very good. It's a callback to me, like the older, slower days of like original Rainbow Six and tactical shooters like that. So I just love stacking up against doors, okay? So Ready or Not has really scratched that itch for me. Also, it's like a week for me, man. Robocop Unfinished Business. This is like the expansion kind of standalone thing, follow up to Robocop Rogue City. This just dropped. So far, sentiment seems pretty good. I'm trying to find time to play this weekend because Robocop is my #1 favorite thing like ever. I loved Rogue City. So far, I started like the first area. It seems pretty awesome. But yeah, Also, in terms of things releasing this week, SkillUp, fellow YouTuber review guy, he has a website. Yes, thisweekinvideogames.com is essentially a new video game news website. While those types of sites are starting to disappear and fade away, a YouTuber here put his money where his mouth is and essentially bankrolled a small, sustainable website and hired real, actual reporters to do real game journalism reporting. Not like what I do here. I just yap. Look, obviously SkillUp is someone I work with. I have a podcast with. I've glazed them up enough before, but the crew he has on hand here, the SkillUp team, the This Week in Video Games team, are really talented. And I think that this site, which is free and then has other content behind a paywall, I do think it is worth keeping an eye on and keeping it bookmarked. Best of luck to them. Love seeing people try new things. I'm going to do the same exact thing I've been doing for the last 11 plus years. Anyway, let's move on. In some Hollywood news, we got a Zelda cast. Yes, Miyamoto himself took to Nintendo's social media channels to announce the cast for the Legend of Zelda movie. The Zelda movie we know has been coming, directed by Wes Ball, the guy behind the most recent Planet of the Apes movie, as well as the Maze Runner movies. So Bo Bragison here is Princess Zelda, and then you have Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link. They are very much, in my mind, going for younger characters. These are both British actors. They're going for like a younger Link and Zelda, but these people to me very much look like those characters. So I'm curious to see where this goes. Also though, in terms of Hollywood and new stuff, there is a trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. Now, the new Mortal Kombat 1, I liked it. I thought it had some really good stuff to it, but with Mortal Kombat 2 here, it looks like they're just going cuckoo bananas mode. And look, you can argue, is a lot of this just blatant fan service? Yes, absolutely. But I think that's what Mortal Kombat needs. That's what I want to see. And this trailer from legendary Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, which is someone I would not picture, but seeing it here, it totally works, to some great fights, a really great looking Raiden, Baraka. This is cool. Is it cheesy? Is it wacky? Is the CGI not great? Yeah, whatever. I don't care. But a regular old dumb crazy Mortal Kombat movie is just what the doctor ordered for me. So this is releasing in the fall, I believe, and I'm excited to see how this actually turns out. Is it just me? I don't know. Maybe my brain is broken because I grew up on the original Mortal Kombat, which that movie was also ridiculous. But let me know what you think. And honestly, that's a good point to wrap it up because we got more games we got to cover. I got to play through this weekend. So let me know what you think about all the news stories. Are you playing Cyberpunk again? Were you in the middle of playing Cyberpunk when this patch 2.3 update came through? What are your first impressions? And of course, Fallout 5. Who do you want to be working on Fallout 5? If it can't be Bethesda because they're too busy with Elder Scrolls or whatever, what do you want to see? The answer is probably obvious, but yeah, I think it's worth talking about. Let me know, of course, what you're into with the news stories, all the new announcements and stuff like that. But also, let us know in the comments what you're playing this weekend. There's going to be a pinned comment. I know I always say it, but just reply to that comment if you have a minute. Let us know what you're playing because we love looking through those to see what you guys are actually playing to kind of tailor our videos and video research and stuff like that. So thanks for humoring us. Really appreciate it. But thank you for watching. You know how this works by now. Just clicking the like button helps us out. We really appreciate it. That's it, though. I'm here every Friday to get you caught up, catch you on before you buys and stuff like that. Have a great weekend. Be safe. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me.